Welcome once again to our series of brief video tutorials on finding, writing, and citing. You might recall that in the opening video we distinguished four basic types of documents you will likely encounter and have to reference in your dissertation. Although there are many more document types, those you will most often encounter and will need to reference will be the monographic book, an article in a periodical, an individual chapter of an edited or compiled book, and the paper published in conference proceedings. If you've followed these tutorials in order, you've already learned about citing monographic books and book chapters and journal articles. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to reference a paper delivered at a conference. When a conference is concluded, selected presentations are compiled, edited, and published together in what is known as conference proceedings. Like an essay in a compiled or edited book or an article in a journal, the published paper is part of a larger work. To reference it, you will need the author, title, and the page numbers specific to the chapter. Then you will need the title of the whole work, that is, the title of the proceedings, as well as the names of the editors and the publishing information. Do not take this information from the cover, however, or from the spine. Instead, use the title page as the authoritative source of information. Here is where you'll get the title of the proceedings, the names of the editors, and other information required in your reference. Whatever citation information is not on the title page can usually be found on the reverse side, also known as the verso. Before we show you what a paper looks like when it is cited in text or listed in your bibliography, we want to remind you to use a reference management tool like RefWorks or EndNotes. It will make keeping track of your references much easier and save you a lot of typing. For the demonstration today, we will be using RefWorks. The specific workings of RefWorks will be covered in another video. For present purposes, we note that reference managers come with the option of choosing a reference or document type and offer the data fields appropriate for that type. For this citation, we chose conference proceedings, and appropriately, we are offered the fields for the author and title of the paper, the editors and title of the proceedings, the conference dates and location, etc. We also include the page numbers where the paper can be found in the published proceedings. There are other fields available that you can add when circumstances warrant, but the fields shown are the ones most typically used when referencing a conference paper. Be sure to look up the APA standards for capitalization and abbreviation and enter the data accordingly. While it might seem a little troublesome at first, the advantage of putting your bibliographic information in a reference management tool is that it becomes reusable with no extra typing. You can also generate a correctly formatted citation. When generating a citation, be sure to choose APA 6th edition. At this point, just copy and paste the citation in the appropriate place in your text. Depending on how long the paper is, you might want to add the specific page or pages where you found the quote, fact, or idea that you are referencing. You'll notice when referencing within the text we use an abbreviated citation, just enough to distinguish this specific work from the other works you cite. Your readers can go to the bibliography at the back of your work to see the full reference. If you cite a work more than once in a chapter, you may omit the year after the first instance. This is the basic rule, but if you are citing multiple works by the same author, or maybe even multiple works by the same author published in the same year, there are exceptions. See our short video on how to distinguish works by the same author if you encounter this situation in your referencing. If you are including page numbers in your in-cite text citation, use the specific page or pages where you found the document, not the range of pages of the entire document as is done in your bibliography. In your full citation at the end of your work, be sure to include the entire page range where you found the paper. One more advantage of using reference management software is that when it is time to generate your bibliography, the software will not only format it correctly, but will place it in its proper location. In our next series of videos, we will demonstrate how to enter and manage your citations and bibliographies using RefWorks to help overcome some of the more tedious aspects of scholarly writing.